Hi guys, this is Andy with Ice or Rice. Today I want to show you how to make one of our favorite treats, which we discovered on a recent trip to Manhattan at a Japanese bakery called Takahachi Bakery. They are famous for a Japanese dessert called Matcha Crepe. It is a delicious dessert made with a green tea crepe and filled with a red bean whipped cream. To create our matcha crepe batter, we're going to assemble all our ingredients in a blender. This will help to create a very smooth and even batter without any large lumps in it. We're going to add all our liquid ingredients first, that way the flour doesn't get stuck on the bottom and below the blades where it can't get mixed up. Our matcha green tea powder, and just a little bit of salt to help balance out the bitterness of the matcha. And last but not least, our flour. Now we're going to blend our batter until it's completely smooth. We've just finished mixing our batter, so now we're going to pour it into our bowl and through a fine mesh sieve in order to get rid of any remaining lumps. Now we're going to cover this up and let it rest in the refrigerator for about an hour in order to let the glutens relax, as well as to let the bubbles come out. To create a red bean whipped cream, we're going to start with a bowl of heavy cream over ice water. The ice water will help the cream whip more evenly. Okay. Now we're going to add about a third of our whipped cream to the red bean paste in order to help loosen it up. The red bean paste is quite stiff at first, which is why we need to add a little bit of the cream and sacrifice some of the bubbles that we have in the whipped cream. But once this is done, we're going to add this back into the rest of the whipped cream to make something that's nice and fluffy. So now that I've finished incorporating a portion of our whipped cream into our red bean paste, we're going to mix this into the rest of our whipped cream. At this point, we want to carefully fold our red bean paste into the rest of the whipped cream. This will help to maintain all of the nice foam that we've just created with the whipped cream. Now, using a crepe pan or a low-sided saute pan, we want to lightly grease the surface and remove any excess grease with a paper towel. Then we're going to pour about a quarter cup of the batter onto the pan, and using our crepe spreader, carefully create a 1 foot diameter crepe. If you don't have a crepe spreader, you can shake the pan until you form your crepe. However, the crepe that you're going to get will be a little thicker than what is typical. Once the top surface is no longer wet, go ahead and flip the crepe over. We want to try to avoid overcooking the bottom and turning it too brown. We'd like to keep the nice green color of it. Remove your crepe and place it onto a cooling rack. And if you want to go all out, you can use a professional style crepe maker. Here we've set our temperature to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Before we make our matcha crepe rolls, we want to take one of our crepes and cut it into quarters. As you can see here, I took one of the ones that didn't turn out so well, that wasn't perfect circle, but once it's on the inside it doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to place this on the side and we're going to come back to this in just a little bit. Now we're going to spread a very thin layer of our red bean whipped cream over the crepe. I like using an offset spatula because it helps me to create that very thin layer, and it gives me a lot of control and keeps my hand above the board. Let's add a dab to the center first. Very carefully spread it almost to the edges. As you can see, the red bean paste that we're using has some of the skin still inside. This provides a nice bit of texture and gives an extra pop of flavor once you bite into it. Now we're going to place a quarter piece of that crepe that we had sliced up earlier. And now we're going to add another thin layer of the red bean whipped cream on top of this piece. The extra piece of crepe in the center will help to create a uniform shape when we start rolling. Let's fold the sides inwards. Same on the other side. Flatten it out a little bit, and then we'll start rolling from the bottom up. Once you've plated your matcha crepe, use a fine mist strainer and sprinkle on some additional matcha powder on top, which will give you a beautiful color. This dessert was a wonderful discovery for us. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we do. If you like this video, please give it a like and remember to subscribe to our channel. Until we eat again.